Yes, we are all set.
Okay, before we call the meeting to order, I was reminded by a couple citizens that they might be listening in. If you could all, when you do speak, whatever your microphone is, make sure you're as close as you can so that folks can hear that. I was asked to make that known. I'd like to call the meeting of the Waterville City Council Monday, September 28, 2020 to order. And I would ask Anthony to lead us in the prayer.
Loving God, as we come together tonight for the city of Waterville, we pause to ask to be with you, to be with us and guide our way. May your spirit of peace surround all we say and do this evening. We ask for your strength to do what is best for the good of Waterville. Lord God, as servants of your people, we pray that you grant us a share of your wisdom. Amen.
Amen.
And I would ask Mary Duncan to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which
it
stands one nation
nation
under God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
for all.
Thank you. I've also was notified by Councilwoman Barbara Bruno. She's unable to be with us tonight, and I'm going to move that we excuse her. I need a second, please.
Second.
Second, Rod Fry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, then I'll go with John for roll call. Maybe I jumped the gun there, but that's okay.
Okay, Mr. Bruno,
Here.
Mrs. Bruno, Mr. Fry,
Here.
Mr. Pedro,
Here.
Mr. Rosick,
Here.
Mr. Borowski,
Here.
Mrs. Duncan.
Here,
All righty. As I mentioned, we will excuse Barbara Bruno for tonight's meeting. Next on the agenda is approval of minutes from a regular city council meeting held on September the 14th. You've all had a chance to receive those minutes. I just need a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Anthony
Second.
Burns. Anthony, who's the second?
Todd.
Second.
Todd.
Whoever you
want. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have citizens' comments, and I don't see, or I don't recognize anybody online, but I'll pause. And John, is there anybody else?
No.
Okay. All righty, moving on to staff reports. John?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. You received a copy of my report. I also sent out to council members and mayor the latest recommendations from the Ohio Department of Health and the Lucas County Health Department in regard to Halloween. And council also received draft materials that we've been working with Republic on, draft educational materials, recycling collection area map, and a recycling calendar. So those are something that if anyone has any comments on, we can incorporate any changes in those items before we move forward with those.
For the record, what was the recycling calendar?
The recycling calendar is a colored calendar that it basically lets you know what area that you're in. So if you were in area A of the city, that would be your week for recycling. If you're in area B of the city, your recycling would be the next week.
I just wanted to get that on the record, John. That was the only reason. But so it's every other week then for recycling?
Yes.
Same material can be recycled, or are they limiting it in any fashion?
Pretty much the same material. In the one educational piece, it goes through the things that you can put in the recycling and things you can't. And I know that we have seen or received comments regarding what can't you put in the recycling? Does it have to be sorted and stuff like that? But no, you can just throw everything that is permitted into the recycling container.
And we'll use the same containers that we're using currently for the recycling.
We'll use the 95 or the 65 gallon containers for recycling.
Oh,
When we go to the totes.
Right. So if you're recycling every other week, you should be able to fill that recycling container up pretty full with recycling.
And John, can you make sure that Karen from the Mirror gets this information?
Yes.
Thank you.
and again, I guess just to be clear, we'll have 2 totes then.
Yes, one for trash and one for recycling.
Right. Can they have 2 different sizes if they choose?
Yeah, we've tried to accommodate people's requests, and I'm sure we will have other requests in the future, and we'll have some people that after they're delivered, that maybe they want a smaller size, and we've actually had people that thought they wanted a smaller size, but they actually wanted a bigger size. So we'll work through the 4,400 of those. Hopefully, we can get that all squared away in the future. So it should be a challenge, but I think we're up to the challenge.
Well, no doubt about that, of course.
But other than that, that concludes my report. If council has any questions,
We'll go around the room. Mary?
John, I know we don't have the contract back from Republic, and I guess when we do, then you'll be able to establish the date for the fall unlimited pickup.
correct.
And then when you have that date, we'll put it on the board
Right.
at Prairie Park and then notify the mayor too.
Right, and the in the flyer that we're going to be sending out, we'll have to tell people that if you're in Zone A of the recycling district, your bulk pickup will be on this Saturday, and if you're in Zone B, it'll be on the next following Saturday. So that'll be a change that people have to get used to. So, but we'll try to communicate that as best as we can as well.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions or comments for John? I have a few, but I'll go around the room. Todd?
No, I'm all good.
Anthony?
I am all good tonight.
Rod?
John, do we know when the totes will start to be delivered to the residents yet?
Well, we after our contract is finalized, we'll set a date in the future, and we'll notify people that the carts are going to be delivered. We'll stage them at the Public Works Department, and it'll probably take about 3 days for them to be distributed, and then the week after that, we'll do the automated, start the automated collection, and that's all part of the informational process.
Okay, thank you.
And Vice Mayor John Rosick, anything else?
No, that was it. Thank you, Mayor.
Just a couple things. You touched on a few of them, John, but on the Halloween, I know that the county has recommended some safe distancing and some other items, and I know that our parents, our community will obviously do the best for their family. I do know that tomorrow, the mayor's call, that there might be some additional suggestions. If anything deviates from what's been sent out already, we'll pass it out to the administrator. And then I guess maybe for Rod and both John, any new information on the cemetery district that is good to bring up right now? Anything new to report?
Rod, I can defer that to you.
Yeah. Well, nothing new to report. I'm anxiously awaiting Mr. Dombey to have a meeting with Mr. Burrell regarding the Waterville Township. We do have a new sexton, Rory Hartbarger. He's from White House, and he is now, well, he's doing a really great job. I mean, he's really excited about it, and he's doing well. So we're just trying to get through some more issues with the township, but we'll get there, and we'll continue working hard and and figuring out what equipment purchases need to be made over the next 30, 60 days. We did receive our second levy, real estate tax levy payments that came in. So everything is going in the right direction.
Good. All right. Thank you. That's all I have for John and obviously for Rod. So next we will move on to our law director.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have that meeting set with Attorney Burrell for the 7th of October, and barring some unforeseen change, we will attempt to put things to rest at that meeting.
Excellent. Any questions for Phil? Okay, moving on to our finance director.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. Our fund balance is at $8,995,680. So from the beginning of the month, that's 622,000 up. And we've just begun our spending process for some of the projects. So I'm sure that's going to get depleted over the period to some extent anyway. And the amount that we are over compared to last year at this time is $1,648,000. We had one investment mature over August timeframe, and we've reinvested that. It was $100,000, and we reinvested it at $102,460. And other than that, all the other investments are pretty stable. So we did a 4-year CD as the reinvestment. I'm going to go over the RETA report briefly. This is September. We touched on this at the last meeting. We're at 73,000 above last year, which is a ballpark at 2.6% greater than last year. So we had another monthly distribution that was fairly healthy. So again, it kind of makes us feel a little bit more comfortable in some of the projects that are upcoming and et cetera. So, and that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
Any members, any comments?
I just want to mark on that. There was a large check to U.S. Bank.
That is our bond refunding.
Okay.
That check pays the debt, and then we would have proceeds coming in on the other end of that for equivalent amounts.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. That's what I thought it was, but just to be sure.
That's a good question. It's a big check.
Almost 3 million.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to our treasurer, Steve.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. I will just briefly reiterate what Mr. Williams mentioned. Again, we're at just shy of 9 million in total of total funds. General funds over $3 million right now, which is as high as I can ever remember it being. Our capital fund is very healthy, and our water sewer funds are holding very steady, right at about $2.5 million. So right now, finances are great. Again, as Mark mentioned, we got some spending to do here that you guys recently approved, and et cetera. So those will be probably coming down. Also, I did check on the status of the audit over the weekend, and it doesn't appear that the state has released our audit, our financial statement audit yet. That's been finalized for quite a while. So as soon as they do release it, I will do the long-awaited report that I know you guys always love seeing from me when that audit is finalized. So with that, that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Steve. Any questions for Steve? Okay, moving on to Police Chief Joe Valvano. Joe?
Evening, Council and Mayor. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Doug Meyer on his appointment to Chief. Look forward to many years of working with him, growing old together.
Growing.
He picked up the new patrol car last week from Lebanon Ford. We appreciate council giving us the okay to grab another car. September 16th, we had a meeting with department heads. Toledo Police Department came in with their social media team. We sat down and had a round table. Very knowledgeable officers that came in, learned a lot from them, and I think this will give us a good start in the beginning of developing our own social media. Last week we interviewed our crossing guard. I think we're going to offer her the position either Thursday or Friday. Seems like a good fit. And our condolences to Keona Drake. She was the one that was in the fatal accident out on Dutch Road in Waterville, Monclova. Condolences to her family. That's all I have tonight. If anybody has any questions.
Council members?
Joe, I understand that she actually called in herself to 911.
Correct. She was on her cell phone with the dispatchers.
And then did you get the call, or what happened after that? Do you know? Did we get the first call?
I'm not sure who got the call. Usually when a call goes out like this, everybody responds at the same time. They're not asked individually.
Okay.
So I know Waterville Fire, Waterville Police, Waterville Township, Toledo Fire, and Monclova Fire all responded and worked together. And Chief Meyer will probably fill in if I forgot somebody. I know his crew was out there also. That's all I have for that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have a comment or a question for our chief? I have just a couple. I enjoy in our packets, I'm sure all council members enjoy getting copies of cards and letters that you and Chief Doug Meyer receive from citizens, and especially younger people that appreciate our police and fire and their first responders. And you have our full support, Joe and Doug, going forward.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, our fire chief. And before we begin, I'm more than happy and pleased to introduce officially his first full council as the new fire chief from the Waterville, Ohio. Let's give him a round of applause.
Woo! Thank you, Mayor. So tonight you all have a copy of my report. I did want to update you, last council, as you voted on the resolution for the 800 megahertz pagers. They've been delivered to the programmer. We are awaiting the county to assign us our alerting channel. Should be here pretty quick. They're working on it right now. Once we get that, the pagers will get programmed, and we should have them up and running and distributed pretty quickly. So some great news there. I also wanted to just, I think all of you were there, but just as a shout out to the 2 lieutenants that we promoted tonight. It was quite an honor to be able to promote 2 lieutenants that have put a lot of time and effort into being community members. So it was really good and rewarding to be able to do that. Other than that, I don't have any other any extras to add to my report. If there's any questions.
Council, any questions for our chief, our new fire chief?
Congratulations, Doug.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
you. Okay, we will move on to our Public Works Director. He reminded me not to forget him, and looking to forget Kenny Blair. Kenny, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I also would like to congratulate Chief Meyer. I'm sure he'll be a great asset, or continue to be a great asset, as he grows with this department. So congratulations, Doug.
Thank you, Kenny.
You're welcome, more than welcome. As I do every report, I will start with the bridge project. Currently, they're removing the remainder of the causeway. That's the most time-consuming thing they got going on right now. We do have a progress meeting with them tomorrow. I suspect that that's going to be the last time we have a progress meeting. I think they're probably going to be done sometime towards the end of next month. So they should have everything wrapped up. They still have several items to take care of on the punch list, but they should be in good shape by the end of the month. Restoration of the new park area as well. All the street markings in town, they've all been completed. All the parking spaces in the downtown area, and some parking spaces, municipal building, clock tower, etc. That's all been completed for this year. This year we did something a little bit different. We used the thermoplastic paint. So we're hoping, if they're telling us right, that we'll probably get 2 years out of that before we have to repaint. So
Nice.
The street paving program this year has been completed, as well as the pavement markings for that. There is some minor restoration to do, but other than that, it's done. So we have also submitted the documentation for next year's sidewalk program. Got a little jump on it this year. So they'll be ready to go right after the first of the year.
Hey, Kenny.
Yep.
Quick question on the sidewalks. I've had a lot of people ask us about the sidewalks in front of my house, why it ends at the Brunos.
Good question. It's been like that ever since.
I know. That's why I didn't know what to tell them.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's something, John, I can take a look at.
Okay.
Okay.
That's because Mary doesn't want a sidewalk in front of her house.
I don't want a sidewalk.
I got a lot of, so my neighbors all to the right of me are like, why? We want to go to the park and we always have to go on the road. It's a safety issue. I said, we'll go to a council meeting, but I did say I would ask. So
There you go.
Well, we can't all the way to the park anyways. I mean, we can't put sidewalks all the way down to the park anyways. There's gas meters and all kinds of stuff, telephone poles in the way. It's not possible. So why mess it up?
can we end it at the other side of Mary's property?
No. I vote no.
Anyway, John, I'll take a look at that. So,
No, yeah.
You may have noticed we've done quite a bit of work in our city parks as far as tree trimming, some aesthetic things such as new benches, those type of things. I think if you looked at all the parks right now, they're pretty much opened up. We've got a lot of good comments from some of the citizens. So just if you get out, just kind of drive through them and take a look, see what you think. But a lot of work was done, so, and needed to be done, quite frankly. Last thing I have, we are currently gearing up for this year's leaf collection program. Yay. And the information on the schedule, that'll be coming out on our website near future.
Great.
And that's all I have tonight. If you got any questions.
Any comments?
I just want to, I mentioned earlier to Kenny, but I did on Canal Road with patching. Just the patching made a big difference. And then trimming back the overgrowth cleared up almost a whole lane on Canal. So it's much more passable at this point. So thanks, Kenny, for getting that done.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. They did a pretty good job at that. You won't even be able to tell it probably next year as the growth comes out.
Yeah.
Everything got great this year, Kenny. You're doing a great job.
So,
So are the guys. The guys are too. I mean,
Your
I
team.
can't do it without them. So
So a couple of things, Kenny. Thank you for you and your team. It's already been said about clearing up canal. That was a citizen called in and said, "Hey, this might be a safety hazard," and I think within a day, that was all taken care of. So thank you for that and your team. Number two, I'm hearing lots of compliments on the road program this year. Obviously, we've done a little bit sooner than maybe in the past, and that's great. And then on the flip side, people want to know how much more we can do next year, and I keep telling them we have a good plan in place, but I'm sure council will want to beef that up going forward. So thank you for that. Okay, moving on to communication from council members, and I'll start with Mary Duncan.
Barbara Bruno.
Yeah.
Nothing for me, Your Honor, other than I want to personally take a minute to congratulate Doug. I thought it was a great ceremony. Mr. Gokenauer and Mr. Pedro, you did a great job. And Doug, we're happy you are the official chief now. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Todd.
No, really to add on what Mary said, congratulations, Doug, and the two lieutenants. You know, great ceremony, very nice. It was good to see a lot of support from the community, the news out there. So yeah, I'm ever since I joined Doug, I've been pushing for this. So yeah, I'm glad you're our chief. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Anthony Bruno.
Just to add what everyone else already said, congratulations, Doug. And I look forward to continuing to work with you. You do a great job, and I'm looking forward to everything that you have to bring to the table.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Rod Fry.
I already gave you a brief update on the cemetery district. I'm going to echo the same comments. Congratulations, Doug. You do a great job. Well deserved.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And Vice Mayor John Rosick.
You've heard it enough, Doug, so I'm not going to say it again. That's
well, thank you to you too, sir.
Come on.
Come on.
No, the accolades all well deserved. So that's great, Doug. Congratulations. And it was nice to see the turnout there. We had people from White House, and the mayor from White House joined us, fire chief from White House. And
John's frozen. Let's wait till he comes back live.
I really enjoyed it. It was good. It was really well done.
John, we're going to ask you to repeat that because you froze up. We lost you when you were saying Fire Chief Harshbarger. So,
all right, I'll start over. It was congratulations, of course, Doug. But a terrific ceremony, well attended. We had the mayor of White House was there, a fire chief from White House. I think some of their fire department attended. And of course, the families of the lieutenants and Doug's family. Half of my family was there, coincidentally. So it was very nice ceremony all around. And of course, John and Tim did a terrific job with the swearing in and the presentation. So very well done. We also had two channels from television were there. I think Channel 11 and 13. So watch the news tonight. You might be on. Unexpectedly. So great. Yeah, very good, Doug. We're looking forward to it. I did want to say one other thing, if I may, Mayor, which I forgot during Chief Alvano, and that is, I hate to admit it, but our garage door was open late one night, and Officer Hallett hung a tag on our door to remind us not to leave it open. I think we did close it later that evening, but not in time for his reminders. So I think that's a great service that we provide to the community. I know you had a thank you from another resident in this month's report. So that's great. Thank you. And we're more attentive now to our garage door as a result.
Good. Thanks. I'll pass it on.
Hey, Mayor, I had one other thing I forgot to mention. We do have a fundraiser coming up on October 8th. I'm not sure if you're going to talk about that, but
go ahead. Todd, go ahead.
Yep, I sent everyone in council a flyer for the October 8th fundraiser to support the co-op. $75 a ticket. My buddy Jeff Stewart's going to be playing some music over there, and we're going to have food, hopefully hors d'oeuvres and drinks. So I invite everyone here to show up on October 8th, Thursday, 5:30 to 8 o'clock, and support our community and Issue 5 and our co-op.
And it's at 3rd Street Cigar?
Yes.
And do we pay at the door, or are there tickets ahead of time?
So we'll have, we're hoping we could do everything electronically.
Okay.
John Henry is taking care of that. I'm working with Carrie to get something on the Issue 5 co-op page as well. Okay. I'm hoping everything's going to be electronic. I will have flyers printed out for the businesses. So
great. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Todd. Obviously, Doug, congratulations again. And what I really liked about it was all the families that were there. And that says a lot about our community. And also your colleagues, your fellow volunteers that were there. It's been mentioned the other departments. We also had representatives from Washington Township. So it's all around a good mix of folks, and shows their support. And I believe the fire department, as well as police, they have a fraternity of friendship, and it's nice to see that celebrated today. I talked about Halloween. I also want to mention that the Chamber of Commerce, I spoke to Karina over the weekend, and she has mentioned that on October 29th, which is a Thursday, the Chamber of Commerce has come out with a plan for a Boo to Do for businesses from 5 to 7 p.m. And I believe it's also in their newsletter that they just published. So businesses are being asked to participate safely, and there's some guidelines that have been suggested. And I know they're going to be contacting the administration as well as the police and fire to coordinate some safety issues on some of the roadways. And then lastly, I'll kick this over to Parks and Recreation. They've invited council, if they choose, to have a booth, if you will, or a table to pass out candy. And as soon as I get more details, I'll pass it on to the Parks and Recreation, just as a starting point. Anybody can do it if you're interested. So that's the Chamber of Commerce. I also got a message from Karina. She's working on a plan to increase buy local, not necessarily just at the holiday Christmas time, but throughout the year. And I know she's got a brochure on some local information for restaurants, but I think she's trying to step up that opportunity. So look for more on that later. I also have been on some calls with Lucas County mayors, and one of the common denominators is as COVID-19 continues to be a point of focus, that there are some opportunities for the different cities and communities to be reimbursed for lost items in their budget. By that, I mean we had to pay for some extra safety equipment. John's already got a tally on that. But we have some other things that we're looking at to use the funds that were provided to us. And you'll hear more about that later as we go down that path, down that road. And then just for the record, I also want to recognize Lieutenant Dean Kakuthi. He's my neighbor across the street, and I've seen that young man grow to a fine firefighter, as well as Matt Beekus. I saw him through the high school days with my kids, and it's pretty neat seeing these young folks stick around and make their community a much better place to live. Those are the highlights that I have. All right, we will move on to old business. And this is Ordinance 1420, an ordinance amending Part 3 of the codified ordinances of the City of Waterville, Schedule 5 of the traffic and schedules, restricted or prohibited parking by adding or no parking area to a portion of Sycamore Lane at Royal Hampton Lane. The first reading was on August the 20th. Second reading was on September the 14th. The third reading and legislative action is scheduled for tonight. John?
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything to add on this issue.
Council members, anything you want to discuss?
Have we heard anything from neighbors, or everybody's okay?
We haven't heard any negative comments from the community on this.
Okay, great.
All right, so we just need a motion to pass ordinance 1420.
So move.
Todd Borowski, I need a second.
Second.
Second, John Rosick. Any more discussion? All righty, all those in favor for a voice vote? John?
For a roll call vote, correct.
Roll call vote, yes. Roll call. Go ahead, John.
Mr. Bruno. Mrs. Bruno. Mr. Fry.
Yes.
Mayor Pedro.
Yes.
Mr. Rosick.
Yes.
Mr. Borowski.
Yes.
And Mrs. Duncan.
Yes.
All righty. All right, next is new business, and this is resolution 3620, a resolution requesting the auditor of Lucas County, Ohio, to issue an advance payments on the current collection of taxes due to the city of Waterville during calendar year 2021. John?
Thank you, Mayor. This is an issue that we're required to do every year. The county auditor sends out a request to communities to pass resolutions requesting the advance payment of taxes, and it does work out very well for us, and so we like to make sure we do that every year.
Council, any more questions? Need a motion to accept resolution 3620.
So moved.
Mary Duncan.
Second.
Second, Rod Fry. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, next, resolution 3720. Resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing necessary tax levies, certifying them to the Lucas County Auditor. John?
Thank you, Mayor. This is another annual piece of legislation. The Budget Commission of Lucas County, they set the inside millage rate for the city, and they send us an estimate of what they believe we're going to collect, and we are looking at an increase of about $194,000 from last year. I believe the total this year totals $725,000, and that would include the inside millage for the general fund, and then also the inside millage for the police pension fund, and then that also included in that number is the tax reimbursements or rollbacks that we get from the state.
So John, you're saying currently we're at 725.
That's what we're going to expect next year.
Okay.
Last year we were about 192,000 less.
Okay.
So we did see an increase in our property evaluation, and I know when we talked about the co-op, our evaluation went up from 19 to 20.
Okay. Council, any more questions or conversation?
What's the total inside millage? What are we at, John, on the inside millage? Do you know where else?
At 3.7 mils.
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion to accept resolution 3720.
I'll move to
John
approve.
Rosick. Need a second?
I'll second that.
Rod Fry. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Other information or any unscheduled business? I've got just a couple things. We have an educational committee that's headed up by Dick Sargent. You heard from him last meeting, along with Jennifer Scroggs, Kerry Hill, Mike Hill, Teresa Pollock, and many others are building momentum and educating the public on our fire and EMS levy, and that seemed to be moving along very well. I encourage citizens to become informed, and as we go forward, we'll have some public meetings, some Zoom meetings to give you an opportunity to learn more about this effort. Anything else? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Anthony Bruno, second.
Second.
Second, John Rosick. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, team.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Good
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
Night.
Good seeing everyone today. Bye-bye.
Go